Welcome to episode 70 of the Guardian 1 podcast. We record live Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Guardian 1 Network. My name is Remy, and tonight I am joined by River.
SDF River is back, and the filter is off.
Crimson Warlock.
It's great to be back, everybody.
Jez.
Good morning.
Agrios.
Greetings, Guardians.
And Sharks.
Let's just say Bungie listens.
We're going to be talking about all things Destiny, but first, housekeeping.
What is housekeeping? Nothing? Nobody? All right.
That was a philosophical question.
Rhetorical. I thought
Right.
you were about to go off on some Buddhist philosophy here.
That's exactly what I was thinking he was going to as well. Like, what is housekeeping? Let us ponder the ways, you know?
Yeah, I was
Professor
just waiting
Rivers
out
in
the
the
bomb.
house.
I'm thinking about all
Rivers.
this time that we've missed. It should be clean by now.
Right.
That's what well, maybe for the recorded version. I mean, that's pretty down pat, isn't it? All right, everybody. It's great to be back, and I appreciate everybody who's here in the podcast listening. Be sure to follow Guardian 1 on Twitter at G1Net. That's G, the number 1 N-E-T. And we really hope that you send us some feedback to the email, feedback@guardian1.net. In addition, be sure to check out the Guardian 1 website at guardian1.net. We also have a Bungie.net forums group, currently at 271 members. Utilize the forums for comments and feedback, so be sure to join the conversations going on there. As Remy said at the top of the podcast, you can watch the show live at twitch.tv/Guardian Network. Broadcast every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. That's right? Did I get that right? What time is it?
It's not.
You're
Did you say 10 p.m.
fired.
Pacific?
You're fired.
Did I say
Where's Hollow
10
River?
p.m. Pacific? No, I said 8 p.m. Pacific.
Okay.
That's right? Because I'm Central
Yes.
Time Zone. Okay,
Yes,
cool.
that's right.
If you can't catch the show live, you can always search for Guardian 1 Podcast on iTunes, as well as the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian Network. Guardian 1 is a proud member of the Guardian Radio Network, so be sure to check out the Guardian Radio Network website at theguardiansofdestiny.com. There you'll find all the different podcasts that's part of the network, including the flagship podcast, Guardian Radio. They broadcast every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. That's right, too, right? No? I'm serious, man. Like, it's been so long. I don't even... And they've switched it up so much. I think it's 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right?
They did change it, but I can't remember.
Aha, you guys don't know either. On twitch.tv/Guardian Radio. You know, so
Yeah,
follow their
honestly,
Twitter
I
account.
just get the alert on my phone whenever it goes live. So they do keep bouncing it around.
It has been bouncing around lately. So yeah.
It's not their fault.
No.
Pretty sure that's what they shoot for, though.
Yeah.
You can follow their Twitter account at Guardians of D and their YouTube channel, youtube.com/GuardiansofD. Other podcasts include us and Ghosts and Echoes. And I hear that they have an extra one, Everything But Destiny, but, you don't really care about that, right? Right?
What are you, crazy? That would be awesome.
I would actually love to listen to it, but I hadn't really donated money yet. I definitely plan to in the future, though. It's only $5 a month, right?
Yeah, that's.
I'm sorry. I don't give a crap about anything but Destiny. So why am I going to watch that?
Fair enough. All right. Well, that's all I got for now. So thanks, guys.
Excellent. Thank you very much, River. I did want to say before we get rolling here, our G1 member Bobcat is starting chemotherapy this week, and that's got to be some scary stuff. You know something is wrong and needs to be fixed when your only option is something as scary as chemotherapy. So, if you need somebody to be thinking about and giving them some positive thoughts, he could definitely use them. Uh, so let's talk about Destiny. What do you guys think about that? You know what? Actually, first, I did want to just catch up with everybody, just really quickly, see how you guys are doing. Me personally, this break, it's been the last broadcast we had was December 10th, and the very next week was cut short because over half of our group was going out to watch that Star Wars. And then after that, it was Christmas, and then after that, it was New Year's. Like this show fell on like every major holiday. Um, so so me personally, things have been crazy here. Like we've been down with sickness, and there's just computers aren't working. Like I got a brand new mini laptop to call into the show, and it's awesome, except for the fact that when I first turned it on, the microphone was so low I could not barely hear myself on it. And then when I tried to switch up drivers, all of a sudden it was changing the tone of my voice. I sounded like like Kylo Ren. We'll talk about Destiny. This is not acceptable. But things have been crazy, and I'm really glad to get back to talking about some Destiny. Very excited to share what's been going on, what hasn't been going on, what's working, what's not working, and we will take these items as they come. But first, why don't we, River? It has been since October 30th. Your last show was October 30th. That
Oh, you
was
kept track, huh?
Yeah, that was forever ago. How the hell have you been?
Wow.
I've been doing pretty well, I guess. I'm naturally an optimistic guy, anyways. But I've been playing some Destiny here and there whenever I could. Holidays were freaking crazy, and New Year's was great. And I mean, what 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 else could I really talk about besides that? I guess let's just say things went well. I played a lot of Destiny, and I'm just really glad to be back now so that I can talk more Destiny because I don't really get enough of that. I do listen to the podcast whenever I'm not on, just to let you know.
Well, that's
Awesome.
cool.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
very cool. Just know, like, if you have something that you want to say to people, you can always record it in an audio file and send it to me, and I'll play it. Or if you
Right.
just want to send me an email, or like if they reveal something next week and you're not on next week, you could just, I hate this. Tell everyone I hated this. We will relay that piece of information. I feel like people really want to hear what you're talking about, and when you're not on the show, especially for weeks and weeks, months, I think to myself, there's a lot of people that listen to the show for you. You're a big name in the community, and it wasn't until the other
I don't
day.
believe that.
It wasn't until the other day that I realized how much. If you will take a look at the screen, uh, I have I have 6,311 tweets. Okay,
Oh, nice.
and so I saw this. I was just scrolling down on my character, and I thought, oh, this is cool. And I thought, that River tweets a lot. I'm curious to know what his outreach of tweets looks like. And figure two, River has 20.4 thousand tweets.
That
uh,
just means I talk to an empty room a lot.
so yeah, it's you are still very active in this community. I just feel like the podcast gives you a greater a greater amount of detail. You can say a lot in just a few minutes.
You got more followers. Look at you. I talk way more than you do.
You like a lot more too. I have
I sure do.
8,810 likes. You have 46.9 thousand likes.
Hey, I like a lot of things, man.
Hey, I want to know how you have time for Destiny when you're on Twitter all the time. What the hell?
I do a lot. I do some surfing at work. Don't tell anybody though. And I usually have my phone on me a whole bunch. Lots of notifications are on for a lot of people.
Uh-oh. It looks like we lost Agrios. Shame.
Oh no.
Shame. But yeah, so it's nice to know that you're still, so active. It occurs to me sometimes, well, maybe River is just done with Destiny, and no, you sure are not.
Why would anybody think that? And I
Right.
have no idea.
Right? Why would anybody think that? Okay, well, thank you for updating us. Crimson Warlock, how have you been? It's been a long time. Have you been playing a bunch of Destiny, or are you playing something else, or what?
I've kind of been going off and on between a couple of different games. But the noise you're hearing right there is taking up a lot of my time over this holiday season.
Man, I hear that.
Clearly.
Yeah, I've been playing some Destiny. I need to still get my exotic sword, so I'm trying to do that. All three of them, but I'm kind of switching off through some backlog PS4 games and playing some Diablo 3 right now with a new season until Destiny calls me back. So
Got it.
that's kind of what I'm doing. Not a big, not as big as River in the Twitter area, I don't think, but that's because I'm more of a don't ask, don't tell. So I'm a passive observer. I don't tweet too much, but I follow a lot of things going on in the Twitter community.
You're a funny guy, Crimson Warlock.
Yeah, he is.
Thank you for the update. Jez, how are you doing since we've last talked?
All right. No, I've been doing pretty good. Just been here.
Yeah, how is it there? It was getting crazy here for a while. There was snow on the ground, and so I just imagine it magnified up there. Is that correct?
We had a snowstorm not too long ago. I'm not sure how much fell, but it was definitely like, I don't know, 1 or 2 feet.
Crazy. Crazy.
It's
Are you
about average for winters.
are you playing a bunch of Destiny, or are you playing something else?
I hop on Destiny once in a while, but not too often. I've been playing so many different games that it's hard to keep track.
Got it. Got it. Excellent.
You don't even want a list. That was a period, not a question.
Got it. Got it. Thank you. Agrios, how have you been?
I've been okay. I've definitely been better. I've been ill for a bit lately, but other than that, I've been well. Had a good holiday season and whatnot.
Very cool. Very cool. It's nice to see you online. I see you online all the time playing Fallout 4, and I think, you know what? I could chat with this guy right now and we could talk about things. And I think, you know what? I'll just save it for this week during our Destiny conversation. And then several weeks go by and I think, man, what the hell is even going on over there? Like, what could you still be doing in Fallout 4? What are you still doing in Fallout 4?
What is Fallout 4?
Fallout 4 is awesome. Pure awesome is what it is. No, but I do like Fallout 4. I am having a lot of fun. I'm a very much a kind of smell the flowers sort of guy in those kind of games. I definitely take my time and I definitely wander off and get sidetracked and explore oddball nooks and crannies and get the inkling to walk towards some random object I see way, way, way far in the distance. And I'm horribly addicted to doing things like OCD about like building things and stuff like that. So yeah, there's all that settlement building I've been having a blast with. And yeah, it's a good game. I do wish that it had some sort of more of a multiplayer aspect. I think it could easily be built into the game in some way, shape, or form, even as like a limited multiplayer, like that, maybe you use a secondary character and play as a mercenary for a character in their main game.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines would be fun. They toyed with that a little bit in the Far Cry game. The way they do the co-op, you come as a second character that's not the main character to assist and whatnot. So,
Excellent. Sounds like a lot of fun. Sharks, how have you been? I haven't talked to you in forever.
No, I know it's been a while. I mean, between all the holidays were crazy. I mean, for me, it was totally insane. I had family up, and it's just busy and fun, like most holidays are. But and then, of course, during that time, the Sparrow Racing League and Iron Banner was going, so I was full blown into Destiny when I could. After that kind of happened, it was just plodding along like normal as far as getting on, doing some PvP, whatnot. Not really seeing hardly anybody on at all. I mean, after the holidays, it was scarce. Every time I'd log into Destiny, but because people were either playing other games or whatnot. But other than that, I mean, I've been doing all right all the way up until 2 weeks ago. I came home and we both got horrible flus. So I've had a flu for almost 2 weeks. I'm finally able to actually go out and do something. We went up and we went looking for snow today, so I guess we're feeling a lot better. But the thing is haven't played Destiny in 2 weeks, and it's been kind of weird.
Wow.
Literally, I've only logged on once because we were kind of feeling good once, and we were like, oh, let's try Nightfall, and we did that, and it was kind of rough, and we were like, oh, okay, I'm not touching. I literally, my PlayStation hasn't been on for 2 weeks. I have it on right now just for something stat wise that we're going to talk about later, but it's been kind of weird not playing video games. I've been watching lots of movies and actually watching lots of the football playoffs, but hopefully well, I know I'm going to get back into Destiny with what Bungie talked about today, so I'm kind of excited about that. But it's been kind of like a lull season for me right now, and it takes a lot for that to happen. So,
Got it. Well, thank you for that update. Yeah, the flu is crazy. It takes you out, sitting under a blanket, freezing your ass off, and also sweating to death at the same time.
Yeah, totally. Well, I felt really bad for you because you were sick. You were sick the week before I got it, and I was like, oh, it sucks to be sick. And I was saying, I'm lucky I don't ever get sick. And literally, like that next week, I got it. And I was like, oh man, we were both my wife and I were down at the same time. It's just it sucks big time.
I think Remy passed it to you through the
Yeah,
net.
did you guys play multiplayer together?
Probably.
That's funny.
That's not funny.
Shame on you, Remy.
That's
Shame
not
on
funny
you.
at all. That's scary. Can you imagine how quickly this entire civilization would just be taken down if there's
I would no longer play with people. I'd be like, forget this. I don't want to play multiplayer with anybody anymore.
It's
right?
an internet virus.
Right? How could you want to play with anybody?
I'd still do.
Well, that's because you're also Flavor Flav.
Yeah, boy.
Great. Well, it's great to hear you guys. It's great to have everybody on the show. I want to get everybody's opinions on the things that are coming up and that have come out. One of the things I'd like to get to right now is the SRL Sparrow Racing League. Last we talked, it was still going, and so let's see. Agrios, did you ever end up buying the book?
Yes.
Sorry, I was
Yes,
muted.
indeed.
I did not buy the book.
Oh, Agrios
Slacker.
did not buy the book. Okay, so here it is. You're the only person who didn't buy the book. Why did you
Sweet.
not buy the book?
No real interest in it. It didn't really see the point in it. It didn't. I consider. I'm like, oh, maybe I'll look at that later and pick up the book near the end, since I found out it was like retroactive if I felt like it. And I wasn't even like on racing the last week that it was in play very much because it was like, crazy holiday time. And I just never got around to getting it. Just, I don't know. It didn't really interest me.
Crazy, crazy, crazy. All right, River, you said you did buy the book on the Xbox, yes?
Okay, so here's the thing. I bought it on the Xbox, right?
Uh-huh.
But I didn't use any of my own money. I kind of got it for free.
Did you want to extrapolate or?
Sure, yeah. I just wanted to hear like, how'd you get that?
Yeah, I want to know how you did that.
And I wanted to kind of make a video on this, but that project kind of like fell through the thing. But I basically use Bing rewards. You guys use Bing?
I do. I use Bing
Yeah,
Rewards.
you use Bing.
I
Well, if you had
use
an Xbox,
Google.
you could take advantage of that.
I get the Amazon cards.
So yeah, I get the Xbox cards, and
This is
whenever
starting to sound like an ad.
it's not, because I freaking hate Bing, man. Bing sucks.
Use
But whenever you
referral
use the
code
engine,
SPF River.
you like get these points, right? And I trade these like Bing points in, and it gives me freaking Microsoft cards, like $10 gift card. I'm like, $10 gift card? Heck yeah, I'll freaking buy that thing. So freaking got that for free. Put it in my Xbox account. Got the book for free. I'm like, yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, so awesome. Suckers.
Very cool. All right, so let's. I want to go over some stats real quick because I think that this will be interesting for those at home listening right now. They can compare to us and see where they matched up. I bought the book on both systems and completed the book on both systems. I have in toto. Let's see. I completed 27 races on Venus, and 27 races on Mars on the Xbox. I completed 34 on Venus and 28 on Mars on the PlayStation. River, what were your stats?
All right. Race is finished. What is this? Mars. On Mars, I got 27. On Venus, I got 18. So I didn't quite fill that gauge up.
Got it. Crimson Warlock.
Okay, let's see. I've completed 60 races on Mars and 55 on Venus. And what else did you want?
Well, that was just it for now.
Oh, okay.
Jez.
28 on Mars and 25 on Venus.
Agrios. Oh no, Agrios didn't do it. Ha! Sharks.
Let's see, 192 on Mars and 196 on Venus.
Oh my god.
Lee.
Oh my god.
Holy
Okay. So was this completions born out of getting everything that you can out of it, or was it you were really just enjoying sparrow racing?
Both. I told you guys last time that we had a podcast. I was loving sparrow racing. I really enjoyed it. I was bummed that there were only 2 maps. But yeah, I thought it was kick ass. Well, and Agris knows I was doing some races, and he was complaining. He was like, "Oh, racing with sharks is like playing PvP with sharks. He's Mr. Master at it, blah blah blah." but yeah, no, I mean, the only way to get good is to do it a lot. So that's part of the reason why I did it. But the other reason is that you could get 320 gear. You could get 320 helmets and 320.
Okay, he makes fun of me for complaining, but more than okay. So I'm racing and I'm like first all day long, like rocking it out. First, second here and there, but just first all the time, and it's destroying it. And then Sharks gets on, I join him, and we go race. And like twice in a row, he did not he does not finish every other runner in the race.
Wow.
He's the only person who finished. Every other person in the race couldn't make it to the finish line before they got the did not finish thing because he was so far ahead.
What's the timer on that? Is that like 10 seconds or something like that?
I
30
have
seconds.
no idea at this
30?
point.
30 seconds.
Good God, man! How in the world did you? Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he did not finish the whole pack. More than one race.
Okay, so then let's go back the other direction. Sharks, what was your fastest lap time on Venus?
1 minute 20 seconds. 0.502.
0.502. Okay, Jez, what was your fastest on Venus?
1 minute 23.5.
123.5. Crimson Warlock?
120.467.
Hey,
Dang.
easy.
River, what was your fastest on Venus?
Yeah, 121.569.
121.569. My fastest on Venus was 120.702. Man, I got third place. Sharks got second. Crimson got first. That's a really nice time.
Mhm.
I'm just
120.
gonna guess I was
I'm
like
surprised.
119. There's no record, so we'll just speculate on it.
So yeah, so it would have been, if that was your fastest races, then you were
Yeah, but that's
competing
the
against
fast.
them.
Yeah,
What's
but
that?
that's the fastest lap. That's not the fastest race.
Okay, fastest race. River, what was your fastest race on Venus?
Let me go back. Venus fastest race 4:15.835.
835. Crimson Warlock.
417.599.
Jez.
421.9.
Sharks.
411.452.
Dang, that's really nice.
Yeah, it is.
My fastest on Venus was 413.285.
There it is.
That's not bad. That's really good. We all did really good. You know what I should have brought up was what the fastest was on all of these. I know people were hitting like threes on one of these maps though.
Yeah, it was
Let
this
me
one.
elaborate my story a little bit. When that thing with sharks do not finishing, two whole races. This is only like day like 3 or 4 of sparrow racing when this story took place. Just further
Oh, well, that
clarify
makes sense.
I don't know if you guys noticed this. I almost wasn't going to complete these books. I just wasn't getting enough wins. Like I'd get second place, I'd get third place. But getting first place was like there was always a Sharks out there in front.
Mm.
But then after Christmas showed up, I think there was just such a flood of new people that they hadn't quite gotten the swing of these machines down yet. um, so excellent. Sharks is first. I got second, and River got third. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, so fastest lap on Mars, Sharks.
Mars 124.705.
Jez,
128.
Crimson Warlock,
126.5.
River.
128.5.
My fastest on Mars was 127.874. So yeah, Sharks, you were really squeezing time out of those maps.
Every last drop.
Three full seconds. That's great.
Well, it's funny because when I first started doing it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna use the side ways and all this stuff and try to use try to get as fast as I possibly could. And man, I was getting stomped on by people, and I even said it to Agrios. I was like, I'm gonna use this. He goes, I don't know, that doesn't seem faster. And then probably by day 5, because it ran for a couple weeks, right? I remember somebody doing. They were doing these videos, and they were like, "Oh, doing it the fastest." And I was like, "Yeah, how many gates are they cutting out?" And they were hitting every gate, and I was like, "What the hell?" And I started watching everybody, and it was faster to use all the gates. It was faster to use the gates as opposed to using those side areas. And I was like, "Forget this." And so I stopped doing it. And it was actually funny because I kept telling Guru Vu in the beginning, I was like, use the side, you're going to go faster. She's like, no, I'm going faster this way. And she was kicking my ass then, it's like, oh man, it's funny how they, really the way to learn how to do the maps was to try everything, really.
Well, I think what it came down to is that there was these two separate learning curves. There was the getting there fastest, and if nobody was hitting all of the gates, then the fastest way to get there was using those shortcuts. But if you could use all the gates, if you could hit every single gate, it was faster to use every one of those gates. And so I followed their path perfectly. Like I noticed people were getting ahead by using those other areas, and then I fell into the same thing where it's like, well, if I just hit these gates, I'm going to make it past these guys. And I think that was brilliant. I think that was genius, and it had to have been part of their plan. As you get better at it and you're able to hit more of those gates, especially out in front. Really, I was my own worst enemy in Sparrow Racing League, without a
By
doubt.
missing gate.
Yeah, by
Yeah.
missing gates, and I mean getting hung up on random stuff.
Rocks.
Yeah.
So many first places were lost because I missed like 2 gates at the end.
Right.
So many.
Well, it's
Yeah.
actually funny when they were doing the bungee bounty. I when we first started going on lap 1, I hit something and I was so pissed, and I was like, "Oh, there's no way I'm gonna catch up." But and then I did. I was lucky because everybody else was making mistakes, and it's you're hoping that people will make mistakes, and then you just got to make sure you don't.
Agreed. Okay, so Shark's fastest race on Mars.
426.961.
Jizz?
4:37.
Crimson Warlock?
431.3.
River.
436.
Well, at least you beat Jizz.
Yay! Yes.
To be fair, I think my approach is much like high school, just enough to get by.
My fastest on Mars was 429.255. So again, Shark's way out in front. Excellent. Okay, so let's just let's move on from this. But I definitely wanted to get, like, after all is said and done. Like I said, the last podcast, SRL was still going on.
Hey, well, I'm curious about something. What's your win percentage?
I
Is
don't
there
know.
a win percentage listed here?
Well, no, but you take your total races, which for me, I did 388
Math.
races, and I won 91 of them, so almost 25%.
I think it actually told us. Oh no, that was a different percentage. Yeah, you're the only one doing math right now, Shark.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, screw your math right now.
So final thoughts on SRL, Sharks. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you want to see? What don't you want to see? Oh, and also, did you buy any horns? Did you buy any ships? Go.
Okay, so what do I want to see? I want to see a lot more maps. I was kind of this is the same problem that we have with everything when it comes to 320 gear at the moment. Is 320 gear is the percentages that drop. It's really low, or the RNG sucks. Or I'd like to see them do something different with it. I mean, we've been talking about that for ages now. So I'm not going to hold my breath on that one, but. Really, the only change I'd like to see that I really want to see is more maps, more diversity as far as that goes. The only thing that I bought the stupid book, which last podcast we had, I was on the fence. I was like, I don't know if I really want to spend $10, and I'm still not so sure if I really wanted to spend $10. I think it's ridiculous what you get for that amount of money. Now I've got all this stupid Sparrow Racing gear sitting in my vault or sitting on my person's, just wasting space. But
Just slap it on and do some SRL, right?
yeah, if we had it, exactly. Well, that was when I was hemming and hawing about it at home. I was saying to my wife, I don't know if I want to buy it, and she goes, "Well, obviously you do, or you wouldn't be talking about it." And I go, "Well, I do, but what if I buy it and I never see it again?" She goes, "Well, that's what happens with everything in this game." So I was like, "Yeah, you're right." So I bought it, but no, I didn't buy anything else. I'll be damned. I'm not good. There's certain parts of these microtransactions that I'm just like, I'm not going to waste money on something unless I really, really, really want it. And these I don't know. The stuff that they had, it just really wasn't worth the extra money. So no, I didn't. It's not like my skull mask that I spent $20 on or whatever that was. So, but we'll see what other kind of crap they come up with. I'm sure I will get sucked into buying something at some point. I normally do with this game.
Did you get any cool other ships besides the Momentum Racer?
So I got the Momentum Racer, and I did the quest to get the one with the blue neon lights, and I got what's the other one I got? Oh, the third one I got was stupid orange and white one, like the least.
Man, I got that one on both systems.
Yeah, that's like I would have preferred to get the pink one. At least that one's like really bright and out there. I mean, I literally got the most boring one out there. Sucked. So
right,
now I was kind of on that, and that was right after that happened, because I was sitting there thinking, well, shit. Well, maybe I will waste some money and maybe try to get one of the flame one or something like that. And I was like, nah, I don't want to, because there's no guarantee I'm going to get what I want. I was like, nah, forget it. So I didn't do it, and that was partially what pissed me off to not buy something, is because I got stuck with this shitty Sparrow. So
hey, will you look up what the flavor text for that Sparrow is? I meant to tweet out about this, but it was really negative, and I want to try not to be so negative. Let me know when you have that up.
Why would you want to be not negative? Because it's like, it's feedback though, right?
Yeah, this didn't seem to be very helpful.
Okay, so the EV-38 Laurel Bearer is the one that I got. Is that what you want? You want the name of it?
Yeah. No. The flavor text. Read me the flavor text.
There are many who seek victory. Few will wear the laurel.
Few will wear the laurel because it sucks.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I got that ship and I read that and I was like, well, yeah, no one's gonna. Few will wear this laurel because every other ship is better. Okay. Agrios, did you get any ships out of this? Anything? Like, I know that you got like free gear. There was free gear going around, but was any of that at the ships at all?
No, I didn't get anything.
Okay.
I didn't really play. I I didn't play through the whole thing as much as I could have. I just got ill and busy with the holidays. Well, not in that order, but ill and busy with the holidays. And I don't even know if I was ill by that. I just was busy with stuff and more interested in other games. They needed more maps. The two maps just got really old really quick to me. Like once I kind of nailed them, like it's fun to do, but I was just gonna grind out a bunch of wins. I was already when I played by myself and I wasn't playing with someone like Sharks, the people they were matchmaking me against, I was mowing them over pretty easily. And I don't know, I didn't. It didn't really have a lasting hold on me. And you asked me before why I didn't get the book, and part of it was just lack of interest, but it wasn't like lack of interest in knowing those stats. It was just lack of interest in spending $10 on knowing those stats, and it wasn't even spending the $10 on knowing those stats. It's I kind of feel like the stats should already have been provided in some sort of lasting format. I feel like Bungie's kind of dropped the ball a little bit on providing us with stat resources and like heat maps and graphs and all kinds of nifty stuff that I mean, they're measuring this stuff anyway. Just give us a little bit of interesting, feedback on some of that. I think there could be a lot more by way of that thing. And
I would really
I
like to
agree.
see. I would really like to see heat maps for SRL that contain things like where most people were overshot, like when they're like where was the biggest cutoff where people were really closing in on the wall and making the positions happen. I'd also like to see where most people died. Like
where most people died on those giant fans.
I wasn't
that one,
having
that,
problems with that.
that one giant stone pillar, that's where most people died.
The giant stone pillar.
Just that one right in the middle of the path that you hit like a million times and you hated.
Oh, totally right before that ramp. You're totally right. I wasn't having problems with any of that stuff until I started reading about other people having that problem. And I thought to myself, oh, I must just be really good if I'm not getting caught up on these fans. And then, I don't know, I was just plagued by fans after that.
Fans didn't get me. I was good with the fans. I learned the trick on them. But like what I really felt like I'd be paying $10 for, just because of my mindset and my collector in me, is to get that fancy blinking SRL suit, which is useless unless you're playing SRL. And then at that point, I felt like I'm paying $10 to collect more stuff that I don't have room to collect. I already like play a lot less Destiny than I could, just simply because I like the things I have. The things I have are good, and I don't have any more room to collect any more junk.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to delete things I really kind of like for other things that I'm not even sure if I like yet, because I have to level it up and get all the abilities on it and see if it works for me or not. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
just don't have any room to play test, and that's bad because it's the key phrase is what I said. I don't have any room to play.
So then,
you know what I mean?
So then for you, definitely moving forward, if Bungie wants you to play, you definitely want more vault space. You definitely have to have more vault space.
Right. Like the only way to get me to play at this point without giving me more vault space would it be to give me weapons that I felt were in every way, shape, and form, weapons and armor that I felt in every single way, shape, and form and appearance were better than quite clearly than certain things I have.
Yeah.
Because what kind of I predicted and I was afraid of when I heard about their new systems back in the day was that, well, they're not going to give me any more room. They're going to present things to me in the manner they're presenting it to me. I'm going to find a weapon and some armor that gets the job done, is good enough, and then that's it. I mean, if they're going to go back and just literally delete and change my collection of weapons and armor, both in appearance and in physical performance, what's the point of collecting any of it?
Yeah. Yep, it's a sad state of affairs. Sad.
That's my real problem and why I probably play a lot of Fallout at the moment.
Excellent. All right, so Jez, you did buy the book. Did you buy any horns or any ships?
So I'm an idiot. I started buying the ships because I'm like, I really want that black and orange one. After getting all the ships, I'm like, oh, it comes from the horns.
Oh man.
So then I got all the horns.
Did you get the ship?
Yeah.
How many did it take? How many $1 horns did it take before you got it?
I think it might have took about 6 or 7.
So you got all the ships and you got all the horns.
Yep, pretty much.
So so you would have just stopped at the $6 mark if you had just gotten that orange one at that point, yeah?
If I knew they came from the horns to begin with, yeah.
Got it.
I just didn't think the ship would have come, or the sparrow would have come from the horns rather than the package of ships. Sparrows. Jeez, I keep saying ships.
Right, it's because I said ship, so I put it in your head. Our Velvet J says that you can look up your stats on Destiny Tracker. If you
They
were,
have all the SRL stuff too.
yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
It says.
Yeah,
Cool.
they
So
do.
if you wanted to look that up and then throw your, if you think that you have a time to beat on one of these things,
Not right now. Maybe I'll go back and review the show and check my times. But I really didn't play much. I'm certain I can't touch Shark's times.
all right, Crimson Warlock, you bought the book. Did you buy any horns? Did you buy any sparrows?
I tried to get the Void Sparrow once, and I got the Arc one, and I was just like, I'm not gonna spend any more money on it. So I enjoyed my Arc ship, my Arc Sparrow. It's fun, but I didn't buy any horns either. I was just like, this slot machine's too expensive for me, so I stopped.
River, you bought
Case
the
of
book.
anything, I would have taken the Arc ship or the Arc Sparrow.
Did you buy any horns? Did you buy any bikes? River. SDF River.
Sorry, actually had to step away for a moment,
Oh, okay.
but now I'm back. But yes, I did not buy any of that crap. Just the
You-
book.
Just the book?
Yeah.
Did you get any cool ships? Or
No,
bikes?
no ships.
So I think that you got one for free on your first character that reaches SRL 3.
Yeah.
Did you make it
Oh,
to
maybe I
SRL
did.
3?
Oh, maybe I did then. So I don't remember what it is. It must not have been that great. I think it's. Let me think here, because I got
You probably got the same one you and I did, Remy.
which was what?
Right, the laurel bearer.
Oh, I guess so.
No one's gonna use this bike.
Because let's see. Oh no, you're talking. See, whenever you say ships, are you talking about sparrows?
I meant sparrow, yeah.
You've been saying ship this whole time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for
Come on,
part of
Remy.
the time.
Come on, man. No, I got the Raven Steel. Which one's that?
I think that's the first one that you get.
Oh, okay. I got that one.
Yeah.
It was okay.
That's-
I used Timebreaker, man. Timebreaker is sweet.
And so you didn't buy any horns neither.
Nah, man. I was trying to figure out how to do the legendary deal, like changing them to legendary status. Did you have to buy crap for that?
Yeah, you had to buy one of
Are
those
you
horns.
kidding me?
You had to buy one of those $1 horns. You could break it down, and you got like a horn relay, and then you
Yeah.
could use it on any of the blue ones that you had. You can actually,
But you had to
still do
buy it.
Yeah, you had to buy. It's a
That's
$1.
freaking lame. Are you? I wanted the duck.
Okay, so
Quack, quack.
I purchased 2 ships on each system, and I purchased 5 horns on each system because there was some really crazy cool horns, and I wasn't certain if it was going to go away forever. I didn't realize that they were just going to continue to sell them right now because I probably would not have bought as many if I knew that I could buy some out. But like King's Horn was really cool. I really liked the antique horn. I did buy the duck, but it was nice because I had already accumulated all of these blue horns, and then I also wanted that ship. The ship that sparrow
Okay.
that you get from the horn relay, but I did not get it. And so on both systems, I got the laurel bearer, I got the pink one, and I got the arc one. And it's just so sad to spend money and just get something that you really don't want, like that pink one. I will never use that pink one. Like, I understand why some people would want to use that pink one, and I wish I could give this to them. You know, you want to you want a pink sparrow? Here is a pink sparrow.
By all means.
But yeah, it was at least nice to get the Arc one on both systems. That's the one I use. That's the one that I thought was coolest, besides the one that had the blue bars on it. I have not done that. I still have not done that mission, but I did get done the first part of that mission. I wonder if I can go back and do it.
So
You know what
something
is-
I want to hear is River. I know he already said something about it. Was what is everyone's favorite sparrow to race with, and what's everyone's best sparrow to race with? If it's a different one than your favorite one, River, you said Timebreaker, right? Is that what yours
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, Timebreaker. Freaking Vault of Glass Sparrow. It was amazing.
Excellent.
Okay,
Um,
well, I'll
Open
put my
discussion,
two-
guys. Come on.
I'll put my 2 cents in on this one. When I first started playing the Sparrow Racing, because what Deej had said during the weekly thing, just as Sparrow Racing was coming out, is that all sparrows are going to be exactly the same, and I happened to have my Timebreaker at the time. That was the one that I had on all my characters, and I was using it. I was like, wow, this seems faster because I can do the boost. And I was like, I'm pretty sure you can't do the boost on the other sparrows. So I was like, well, I'm going to try. And so I switched over to other stuff, thinking, okay, well, I'm going to use this trick sparrow, and it's going to have a boost on it too. And it didn't. It kept breaking. And I was like, what the hell's going on? I thought they said that all these sparrows were the same. And so I was like, well, screw this. I'm gonna blow everybody out of the water. I'm gonna use this one with this boost, and I'm gonna win every single time. And so for the first couple days, that's the only one I was using. But then when you had to do the tricks and stuff to finish these finish the book and all that stuff, you had to use something else. Well, actually, I think you actually didn't even have to there, but really, you should. So I was using the trick sparrows, and I come to realize that the trick sparrows, all the other trick sparrows, which were the same, they were better handling. And I ended up using a trick sparrow from that point on. I went back and I tried the Timebreaker again because it was faster, but the handling wasn't as good as the trick ones. So I thought the trick ones were better. And then when I finally got that stupid orange and white one, I was like, well, I've got an SRL sparrow, so I'm just going to use this one because the handling was the same as the rest of the trick sparrow. So that's my 2 cents.
I feel like each of them has a different feel. I did use the Timebreaker for a while, but then I noticed that it was actually better to just use a trick sparrow and then do a trick off of every jump that you could, because you got a boost.
Yes.
So I mean, that was really important, was maintaining this little bit here, a little bit there every single time, and then hitting those gates. Like that is where I got most of my
Same here.
first place wins, and it just moved a lot quicker. I ended up using the momentum bike for the majority of it, just because I felt like it had at 160, it had a higher top speed than the other trick bikes, and it was also cool. I thought that was really awesome looking.
So that's also the same as the Swift River. The Swift River is also a trick bike with a speed of 160, and that
Yeah.
happens to be the Red Bull bike. That's
Yeah, it
actually
is.
Got it.
that's actually the one that I used, was the Swift River.
Hey.
Okay.
Real quick. I put it in the chat. I wanted everybody to guess which sparrow I used the most on the PlayStation 4. Any guesses?
Your starting sparrow.
Yes,
Yes.
basic one.
It was the starting sparrow. The Sparrow S10, because I didn't have anything else at the time.
That's crazy and
And
funny.
I actually won.
Well, that's because you're awesome.
I am. Thank you. So are you.
Okay, one final thought before we go. I I contacted somebody on Twitter. I wish I could remember who it was, but it was a while back. They showed me a picture of their SRL level, and it was level 8. And to get to the next level, it was like 6,500 points or something like this. It was like a really high level. What's that?
Oh, I said, good God.
And I feel like our SRL level is going to carry over. I feel like when it comes back around, it's not going to reset like Iron Banner does, and that's kind of cool. I think. Like I don't want to. I don't. There because you're not getting anything necessarily from. It's not like she's selling something you can't just get through the game. I think that would be really cool. And if anybody.
Well,
What's
then I'm going to be kind of bummed then because I was flipping back and forth characters the whole time.
Right, I was trying to get to level 3 on each of my characters, but
So was I.
once I got to level 3 with the first character, I got a free bike, and so I thought, oh, what I need to do now is get to level 3 on each character so I can get a bike on each character. But that's not how it works.
It didn't work that way. I know. Yeah, that's exactly the same thing that I did.
Yeah, but you still got a package with each rank you hit, and the first 3 ranks were cheaper to get to than any of the ranks after 3. So it was still, for stuff you got rewarded, smarter to get all 3 of your characters to rank 3 before you started progressing one past there.
Yeah, which leads me to believe that it's going to carry over, which I think is I really want to see that. So let's hi, sweetheart.
Come on.
That's Lucy, everyone.
Hey, Lucy.
So that would be really cool if it carried over. I think it would just really put a lot of emphasis on what you did last time, what is going forward, especially if there was if you got something special at level 10 or whatever. I wonder what the highest person's is. I wonder if that is something that Destiny Tracker follows as well.
Well, I don't know, but I know that people were posting. This was, I don't know, I can't remember if it was on Reddit now. At the time I was looking, and somebody had gotten to 5 really early on, and they didn't get anything extra, and they were like, okay, well, I'm going for 10 now. And I'm pretty sure that some people made it pretty high or pretty close to some of those levels, and extra stuff wasn't dropping at the time. I mean, maybe in the future, but right then it wasn't.
Yeah. I wonder if the people who were past level 25 in the factions got their faction quest given to them just when they logged in at that one point in time. Was anyone here past 25 on any faction before? Yes. Nobody?
I was.
Oh, and yeah. Did they give you your exotic quest just right off the bat?
Yeah, immediately when the Taken King dropped, my Warlock was able to go to Deb Orbit and pick up a quest.
Cool. That's very cool. Well, then, yeah, there could be retroactive rewards.
Now, I agree with you about the potentiality of it not going away, because other than there simply being a package given to you at every rank, there's no, you have to hit this rank to buy this thing, like you said, with the Iron Banner. So there'd be no reason for them to have to wipe it. So it could be just Crucible or Vanguard or a faction or anything else. It could just rank up into perpetuity, and at every rank you earn a package, and maybe eventually there'll be some sort of quest handed out that is only handed out once you're we were talking about the faction quest,
Yeah.
Way down the line, because it's not like I slacked playing, and my Dead Orbit rank was only just at 26 when the Taken King dropped, and that was only on my primary Warlock. So it's not like a tiny little bit of play it took to get the whole way up there.
Excellent. Let's move on. We've talked about SRL long enough. Longer than I wanted to, but I don't know. I really felt like as the biggest detour that Destiny has taken so far that I wanted to just touch on that again so we can move on. But so why don't we get to the Bungie weekly update, the first weekly update in a while, and there is some information that we should probably go over. Agrios?
Sure thing. Well, the one other thing we didn't mention that I had up here first was the Iron Banner did take place right between SRL. We had that returned to us once beforehand there. So a lot of people had a different experience in that. And we had a lot of talk in the community about. I think this applies a little bit to some of the things they said in tonight's weekly updates. Why I'm bringing it up, but a lot of people experienced a lot more interesting lag issues. A lot of seemingly things have been changed around in the Crucible because we've seen now new lag effects that we have never seen before, like bodies floating through the sky. And there's been quite a few videos out there of some rather interesting occurrences in the Crucible. Have any of you guys had any extreme experiences as of late in this most recent Iron Banner?
Yeah, pretty much the same as everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
it
I
was in,
noticed I would get shot through walls a lot more often. Like I felt like I was in cover, but then that last hit would hit me, and it was like, "How did you hit me from that angle?" That's what I a lot.
I got
Wait,
that.
there
Well,
was an Iron Banner?
It's well, and it started in Iron Banner because there were so many people playing. But that's when all the bodies started flying around too. And as the weeks went on, it kind of got worse. I mean, I'd shoot people, and you'd blow them away. Yeah, I mean, you knew they were dead, but their bodies weren't there. And then you'd look around a corner, and that same person was floating there from your kills, and then you get a kill registered on the screen. It lag sucked. I mean, but here's the thing with lag is everybody was. I know during the last Iron Banner, everybody was moaning about it, and they were saying how bad it was last Iron Banner. But I play the crap out of Iron Banner, as you all know, and it wasn't any worse this last Iron Banner than it has been in the previous ones. There are certain times of the day that I noticed it was worse, but I mean, I would go through, like, sometimes in the middle of the day, I'd be playing and I didn't have any lag issues at all. And I don't know if that was the same with you guys. I'm curious to hear if it was the same for some of you, but I mean, lag was up and down all over the place, like it always has been in Destiny for me.
Yeah, I didn't play any Iron Banner this last time. It was not the right time. I just didn't. It didn't draw me in. The two times before I played what I consider to be quite a lot, and this last time, I think that with these holidays and then sickness, I kind of feel like I fell off of playing video games. I just was really focused on trying to get better. Thinking about can't wait to get back to doing this podcast, and so I didn't play much of it. River, you said things were crazy for you. Sharks, you said things were crazy for you. Crimson Warlock, Agrios, did you guys play much of this Iron Banner and or Crucible in general?
Very, very little.
I noticed a difference in my Iron Banner play. The same type of stuff, the lag, but yeah, it was worse, and hopefully it gets better going forward.
Jez?
No, I did not touch it. I have not wanted to touch Iron Banner in a long time because I know what it's like already, and I've heard bad things, so I wasn't gonna go for something worse.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear
Well,
that.
Worth it for me.
I have another question for all of you that did play. Is what did you notice as far as drops? Because I know this Iron Banner compared to the one previous, the drop rate for me or for what I saw on screen was a lot less than what it had been previously.
Less, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I got one, maybe two entire drops between the two characters I got to level 5, to rank 5. I got one auto rifle, and I think I got one armor drop between 2 characters getting to rank 5.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah, it
crazy,
is.
and that doesn't sound very rewarding.
No, I mean,
Makes-
I got more than that stuff. I actually managed to get some 320 Iron Companion boots.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. See,
Yeah,
I didn't
man.
get that. The highest level thing that I got, the entire Iron Banner, was 3. What was it? 311, 311 something, and I had already had something higher. Oh, it was 311 gauntlets. That's what it was. 311 gauntlets, and I was
I
like,
got those
oh, I
too.
got something high,
Yeah.
but I already had 313 gauntlets, and I was like, you got to be kidding me. All this, because that's part of the reason why I play Iron Banner, why I do the Sparrow Racing League, is to get some of these end game drops, and it just wasn't happening. It wasn't dropping, and it wasn't just for me. I mean, I always go through and I look at the drops that happen on screen, and people just weren't getting drops at all. It was really,
Mm.
really frustrating.
I got a lot of drops, man. I managed to get all the gear that Saladin was selling. I think maybe for both consoles. So things were, I guess it was good for me.
You said both consoles?
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds like a funny parody account for More Console. Both consoles. Yeah, I wish I had played more, but I don't know. It was weird. Moving on. Continue.
Okay, so moving on. Today, Bungie announced their first ever Valentine's Day event for Destiny. Called Crimson Days. It's on a scale close to the Festival of the Lost, and it'll last for 1 week starting on February 9th. With it comes some other unspecified fixes and improvements in the February update, as well as a new 2 versus 2 Crimson Doubles Crucible event. The only clues they really give about that are you'll need a dancing partner, preferably one that complements your fighting style. The two of you will have a chance to earn some sweet loot together in the Crucible. To receive your gifts, you have to put your differences aside and fight well as a couple. So read into that what you may. More details will come next week when senior designer Leif Johansson will join the weekly update for more information.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
I'm not seeing anything that's saying matchmaking.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing that you have to find your own partner. Like that's
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm seeing.
Yeah.
They are implying that. Now, that hasn't been clearly stated that there is no matchmaking for this, like Trials of Osiris, but they are, in fact, applying that. Now, if that is the case, this is the first limited event in which they did not provide matchmaking and such.
It shouldn't be hard though to get somebody like one other person to hop in with you, especially
True.
with LFG sites. And I'm willing to do that.
Imagine if it was like shared health pool or something. That'd be funny.
That would
Oh,
be
That
funny.
would
yeah.
be interesting.
That would be very interesting. I like that.
Maybe,
That sounds really
another
cool.
thing that could be interesting is that maybe nobody can run the same weapons. Like if you're running a shotgun, your partner can't.
That
See,
would
now
be
we're
really
getting
cool.
into some pretty cool ideas, which I don't think are going to happen. Like
You're
you can only
probably right.
have one subclass, right? You can't have the same subclass as your partner,
Oh, that would be a good play too.
like
Because
in sweaty tournaments.
it says like to receive your gifts, you'll have to put your differences aside and fight well as a couple, like complementing fighting style. It makes me think there's going to be some sort of mechanic involved with how you fight and how your partner fights differently than you.
Nah, I think you're reading too much into it.
You know
Awesome.
what though? I think you're reading too much into it, but I like it.
Yes, yes, definitely.
I like it. It sounds really cool. Like the idea that one person. I mean, this is the beginning of something that I would really like to see happen. Like roles, like this person is the tank. This person gets this person gets a rocket launcher. Nobody else in the team can have a rocket launcher. Like these kinds of things are really cool because then it gives you a purpose. But yeah, it's definitely
Well, that's exactly what I was thinking with like the dancing partner thing. You need to be choreographed and play off one another and complement one another. They seem to be stressing that. So that's what I was trying to read into that. Why they were stressing that in so many different ways.
Yeah, I think you've done a good job reading into it. Sadly, sadly, that's gonna happen. Continuing.
So continuing, one other thing I'd like to say. What do you guys think about the name?
Crimson Days.
Or Crimson Warlock.
They totally stole my name.
Yeah.
I've been helping them make it for the last little while, guys.
Right, you're a mole. You're a mole, and that's why you have that microphone that you do, because you don't want people to think that you're actually like working for them. It's brilliant. It's
How much do
brilliant.
they pay you, Crimson? How much do they pay you?
Can't
Spread
say
their
these
lies.
Can't say these things.
Right. You know what? So, does anybody else think that the tower looks gross in this new picture? Because
I thought it was a
Oh, hell
bloodbath
no.
when I
Okay.
first saw it. I'm like, who murdered everyone in the tower?
Well, think about it. It's crimson, it's red, and they're talking about going in doubles and shooting people. I mean, it's a play on blood. It's not a play on flowers. So
Okay, let me
Beautiful.
say this. Okay, it's called Crimson Days. It's a limited time event about violence. It's coming once this month.
you're disgusting. Okay, that's absolutely disgusting.
yeah, I don't know. It just looks like a mess to me. I feel like someone's gonna hand me, Zavala's gonna hand me a broom and be like, "Man, we need to get rid of that shit out there." Someone needs to
Does
mop this
sweeper
up.
bots actually have something to do?
Right, the sweeper bots are shut down because all these pedals are stuck in their servos. It
They
just
need a
looks.
vacation too.
It just looks. It looks like dead. Dead space to me.
I really need to phrase that as tastefully as possible.
Now, how would you feel if instead of everything being red, it was like all the colors of autumn leaves?
I could get on board with that. I feel like maybe it's monotone. It just looks not
Too
very.
much?
Yeah, too much red. Too much red. Like, but I mean, I don't know. I guess with I guess they have a theme that they're going for. It looks like they even change out these bushes. Look like brains. Look like bloody brains sitting in
Yeah,
these
it
I
flower
think that's the
seems like
point.
it seems
Yeah.
like the quality of this picture is because it's so small doesn't help.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I bet when you load it up, it'll look a lot better than it does in this picture.
You know what? I'm just cleaning up messes all day long. Like, this is my job, is to go around and clean up messes. And so I look at this and I just see the next mess that I have to clean up, and I freak out about it. So, um, but I think the idea of doubles is really awesome. I think that this is a brilliant move as far as, I could definitely always find at least one other person playing Destiny on each system. Even in the lowest of lows, I still see at least one other person on. And with Twitter, which is our biggest way of communication, it's infinitely easier. And just a quick note: if you're a G1 member out there and you're interested in keeping up to date on what's going on within the clan, we have a Discord server that we've started to use. And it's unfortunate if you're on Android, you can't get notifications for every little thing. But if you're on Mac, on iOS, you can get notifications for everything. And so, I'm on Android, and so I will log in and I will see, oh, there's a million messages and even some labeled towards me. And I don't know why I'm not getting the notifications for that, but it's something that I'm going to be opening up much more often as we move forward. So,
Hmm.
if you are interested in being part of that, shoot us an email at feedback at guardian1.net, or you can just shoot me a message on Twitter, and I will send you an invite. Or you can contact any one of these other people; they can also send you an invite. So yeah, doubles is going to be very cool. I would accept these doubles even without a crazy, gimmick, like only one of you can have a sniper rifle, but that would be so cool. That would be so cool.
Did we
Um,
address the part where it says sweet loot?
no, what would you like to say about that, River?
It's the return of the bags of candy.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Do you think my
That
bag of
saddens me.
candy that I saved in my vault are still going to be like okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I think it says they're rotten.
No. Only the ones I
No.
kept in my inventory are rotten. The ones I put in my vault still say they're good candy.
Same
Oh,
for
really?
me. Yep.
Oh man, I wish I had done that.
Yeah,
That
but
I
you
still
know what
have my
lasts?
bean in my vault too.
Yeah, but you know what lasts forever, and you can keep this on your person is raisins because raisins never go bad.
I did keep all my raisins.
Me too.
I
Same
think
here.
that this block of image right here is quite possibly a an emblem that we will get for playing with this. This could be the sweet loot that they're talking about. So,
sweet.
um, but yeah, I think that doubles is a great idea, especially with so few people interested in playing Destiny. I mean, there's people I talk to on Twitter about Destiny that haven't played since like November, and further back than that, who are still interested in it, but they don't have any reason to show up and play. And I don't know. I think that this goes back to the fact that, if you're already done with the content, you are in the minority by a long shot. Like very, 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 very few people, all of the people playing are where you are if you're done with all the content. And I mean, I can't even imagine what kind of balancing act this is for Bungie. Your most vocal supporters are already done with all the content that you've put out, and the ones that are just, plugging along, they're nowhere near done with the content. I am nowhere near done, and
Me too.
I mean,
And it's you say it's got to be hard for Bungie. You know they got to be sweating too because there are some of the big names in the community right now that hardly even play Destiny when they're streaming, and you're talking about like big time names. So I mean that's kind of it's bad on their part, and these are people that have been saying, you need to do something because we love your game and we love streaming your game, but they're making money streaming and they're not going to stream the same old crap all the time. So
yeah, yep, that's very true. And especially if your livelihood is connected to Destiny videos, especially because Bungie has been so silent recently. It's Yeah, it's a weird place to be in, and I'm certain they have a plan. It's not like they don't have communication there. I'm certain that the people who are watching the community are turning around to the people that they need to talk to and saying, "Hey, the number one thing that people want is more content." Like there's no way that they're not hearing this. So, um, moving on.
Yes.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I do want to say really quick, the one thing Bungie does have for them is as soon as new content's out, all those streamers are back playing Destiny, and they do it pretty faithfully for a while too. So that is a good plus. Where as other games I've seen, new content comes out, and some of the big time streamers for the games are kind of ho hummy about it, but most of the big time streamers, once there's new Destiny content, they're on it and they stay on it for a while.
Sad.
Let's hit it.
So before we come to Crimson Days, beginning on Tuesday, January 26th at 10 a.m. Pacific time and ending on Tuesday, February 2nd at 12 a.m. Pacific time, for the first time ever, we will have Iron Banner Rift.
I called it.
Yep, Sharks totally called that. Although I think I've said that before at some point that I'd like to see it there, as well as some of the others here. I mean, we were hoping that we would get the cycle. Do you think at this point we're just going to see basically every 6-on-6 version of anything we can at some point as Iron Banner?
Why not? Why not? It makes a lot of sense.
There's not a lot of choices.
Right.
Oh, have we seen everything now? Wait, what is there left? We have Clash.
We haven't had
Troll,
Mayhem games yet.
I
Oh
don't
my
think.
God.
a different.
I can't
Yeah,
see
I don't
that.
think you're gonna see Mayhem or God forbid Inferno.
No, you're not going to see those
are
because
already
those are.
modifiers.
Yes,
Right.
thank you. Yeah.
So this time the prizes include from Lord Saladin at rank 3. That's the class item and the PlayStation exclusive items as well. The rank
Same.
4, the chest piece, and the scout rifle. At rank 5, the fusion rifle. And as post-game drops, at rank 2, boots, rank 3, chest piece, the PlayStation exclusive helmet, scout rifle, and at rank 4, fusion rifles as drops. So are you guys, is anybody here gunning for anything specific on that list? Are you really looking toward getting any of that?
I see
The
what you did there.
the one thing that I'm really looking forward to is the class item for each character. You know, I just figured that they were always going to be around, so even after I hit level 5, I just kept playing because I wanted those higher rewards. But I definitely want the class item for each character. I think that's definitely something that I'm excited about. But as far as
Same.
these guns go, you know, you could get a cool roll or you could get a not cool roll. I got that really sweet fusion rifle from the Cell strike, and I got a really horrible roll on it. So I just dismantled it. And I'm sad about the PlayStation exclusive armor because this is taking out of the pool the chance to get the regular armor, and I think I would like to have both of those. So basically, on PlayStation, you get double duty if you want to get everything. If you don't, you know, then
Well, I'm not sure how the modifiers work, but like for instance, the PlayStation exclusive engrams, the Sublime engrams, they drop at a much rarer rate than standard legendary engrams.
No, it's
So,
it's about 50-50 in Iron Banner. Half the time I was getting the old stuff, half the time I was getting the new stuff.
okay.
But as far as Rift goes for this, I think that it was foolish to have it this time around because the community is so low. Like I feel like I am a solo player. When I play Iron Banner, I really prefer to go in solo, just because my time is so sporadic, and also because I don't want to bother people with, you know, let's just play a couple of games, or what if I have to get off, you know, I can't play for very long. So being able to just hop in and play is a really big bonus for me as far as Iron Banner is concerned. And I feel like if you are in a pickup group, it is entirely possible that you could win a group a game of Rift, but if you're up against 5 or 6 people, your chances are greatly diminished. I mean, when
Yeah,
it
but
comes,
that's the same with any of the play styles. I've seen that with both Control and with Clash. If you're singling it and you got 6 singles in your group and you're going up against a group of 6, a lot of the times they're going to kick your ass. I don't think that Rift is really that much. I mean, Rift is see this is why I like Rift, because it is a team based game, but you should be able to go in and play Rift singly against the same amount of people that are dropping for any of those other games and do just as well. I bet you the percentages aren't as high as a lot of people are making out, because you're not the only one that is worried about this. When I said a couple weeks back I would love to see Rift, it was during a Guardian radio broadcast, and K-Dub saw it and he was like, it's like, no, that's the worst idea ever, because you would have to go in with 6 people. And I said in the chat, I was like, that's bull, because half the time when I'm online playing, and if I'm playing something like Rift, I'm not playing with a group. And I go up against groups sometimes, and we win. You know, it's just like any other PvP match in my mind. I would have thought. I mean, maybe you
I
don't
think
agree
part
with
of
me.
that has to do with your pickup group that you have on your side when you're playing the other formed group. Because if nobody on your team, like if you're like, say you're the only one really going for the spark on your team. If no one on your team ever guards you or tries to make the run with you when you grab the spark, you're gonna have a bad day.
yeah,
So what I mean. So if you're up against a squad, a clan of 5 people on the other team, and one random, and you have all randoms on your team, if they play like a team, if they guard you, if they're trying to get the spark and you're guarding them and they're guarding you, then I think you do stand just as good of a chance in the other ones. But I think perhaps I agree with Remy that I think maybe with Rift, I don't think it's a huge disadvantage, but I think the single player is potentially statistically at a slight disadvantage compared to the other formats just because of that. If your teammates don't decide to guard whoever has the spark, your team's just not going to do well.
Okay, and I feel like slight disadvantage is your best case scenario because, well, number one, I cannot understate communication. Like one person runs out up, to A or to where B is, and sees all of the people moving that direction. If you're talking to your other teammates, you can just say they're all over here, and that lets every other person know that you're talking to, like you're working as one instead of working as six, and that cannot be understated. Like just telling those people there's three people over here, everybody else on the map knows where half of those other guys are. That's an insane
Yeah.
So
boost.
now,
I
when I
understand that. Oh, no, wait. I have a question. I have a question for you on that, though. Okay, because you played Clash. Did you like it when you were playing Clash by yourself?
I did. I did. I enjoyed Clash
Okay.
because when it comes down to it, and this is why Rift isn't going to totally fail, is because as long as your team is shooting the other team, you have a
Right.
chance to win. Like
Right.
this is it all comes down to shooting each other. Like
Right, because in Clash it really helps when you know where the other team is, because you could be going up against a whole team. It's not like in Control. That's why I asked, because if you like Clash and you were able to do it singly with Clash, which is kind of the same thing. It's big time team orientated as opposed to position orientated.
I agree with that. I think Clash, a bunch of randoms off doing their own thing but trying to survive effectively, as long as they can maintain their KD, you're going to do fine. You don't have to work as a team as long as each person is working carefully. Whereas
Right, I
I
mean,
think in
it's-
Rift, because you have a group objective that needs defended, and that object that needs defended is going to move around. So you need to, like, somebody needs to be there to help that spark guy get the spark in. If their team has people helping their spark runner make it and your team doesn't, you're going to lose by a large margin.
right. So the way it works in my mind is that Clash would be the easiest for the solo player because all you have to do is kill the other team.
I agree with
In
that.
Control, it's the next level up in difficulty because you still have to kill the other team, but there's also these control points that you have to do. So you're juggling two things. With Rift, I feel like it's the next one up because you can't just go to where the rift is and then sit there and defend that point. You have to pick it up and you have to move it to another part of the map. And that's when things get crazy. That's when things get crazy, is when you have to not only shoot the other team and go to an area to secure an item, but you have to take it to a whole nother place where the other team could be, if they're smart, having players like me, like goalies. Whenever I play Rift, I just hang back. I just hang back because I know that if the five people out there trying to get that ball can't do it, that ball is coming towards me. And I feel like I have done my teams such a great service by doing this because it's especially as a night stalker, you can just throw that rift down, or you can just throw that bow down anywhere, and as long as it connects with them, they can't make the goal. So it's just, that's the way it is Clash, Control, and then Rift. And having Rift right now, I mean, I suppose they could just be wanting to try and get as many people to come back. Like, oh, Rift,
Exactly.
you're going to have to get together with a team, but that's dependent on
Well-
people thinking, well, let's get the group band back together.
Oh
Well,
no, see,
there's-
I think it's
there's
more.
like-
I thought you were going to go that this is the first time Rift has ever been in Iron Banner, and they're just doing that to bring people back right now with no new content. This is like pseudo new content.
Well,
First
you-
time ever, Rift and Iron
Yeah.
Banner, come back, play Destiny.
You have to take
Maybe-
something else into consideration that we haven't brought up yet because we've been away for so long. But Activision buying the esports, and with everybody's always been saying, Bungie, are they going to push Destiny into esports? this is doing that too. Slowly but surely, they're adding all this stuff that's team orientated. I'm not saying that Rift isn't team orientated. I'm just saying that you can play without it. But having all this team orientated stuff pushed into it, and now the Crimson Week, that's 2 people team playing, some kind of PvP. It's over and over and over again. Bungie's putting it out there, let's get teams, let's play together, let's do this PvP together to maybe have some kind of esports down the road.
But I'll say this right now: unless they do a lot to the current state of the situation, Destiny is not going to be an esports player until Destiny 2, and they have a next gen only revamped, like lag free, hopefully not peer to peer system.
Well,
because
that's not that far away.
It's just not going to work in MLG. Well, that's a question we're going to talk about later. Is how far away is that?
Okay, so anybody else on Iron Banner or moving on?
Yes, I have a pro tip.
River.
So yeah, so we can agree that you're at an advantage if you have yourself a team, right?
Yeah.
You're definitely going to be at an advantage. So if you're going to play Iron Banner, try to get a team. If you're going to solo it, use the in-game chat. Please talk to the other people that you're going to be playing with, whether they're random or they're LFG or what. But please use the in-game chat.
I was going to say that when Remy was talking about it. I actually you can go into your settings and you can change your settings to when you're not in a party with your friends to be by default put into the public chat.
I do that all the time.
So I have mine set up that way. And when I go into a Crucible match, I talk to myself. I don't even know if any of them are listening, but I call out. It's good training for just when you're playing with your friends anyway. But I'm like, guy with heavy here, 3 guys here sniping over this. And I'm sure I've saved lives, people who don't even have mics but can hear me.
Mm-hmm. So whether or not you're in a team, you can still provide some valuable information to those that are on the team that are with you. Definitely try it out.
And in the days of Halo, that was a really great way of finding people to play with. I still play with people who I met in random groups in Halo because you got dumped into this voice chat, and if you found somebody who was cool or helpful, you could then continue to group up with that person. And this was, it's really a great way of finding people. There's just so much toxicity in a few people, and it makes you not want to chat with anyone. Like, I don't want to chat with any of these people. Like, this guy's a jerk, and this guy's only concerned about, like, he's going to get all the kills or whatever.
Well, I know that K-Dub does this too, and like, there's a whole group of people we play with now that K-Dub met doing it. He was playing actually on the Forgotten Shores, or no, not Forgotten Shores, the Shores of Time, and he he was doing call outs, and the team he was with, most of them were just miserable. Him and one other person, with only 2 people doing good, and this one person who had like the worst score on the team kept taking alpha over and over again, and it was screwing up their spawning them over in that corner and whatnot. So he was yelling at that guy the whole time to stop doing it. Well, at the end of the match, the one other person who was doing good, she contacted him and said, like, it was cool how he was, doing all the call outs and whatnot. And now they're regular, their whole groups of regular gamers with us. We do raids and all sorts of stuff with them all the time.
Wait, hold on one second. Mystic Rose in the chat says right now that she received a Suros DIS-47 from Banshee that lets you twist fate and change the perks of the weapon. Are you messing with me, Mystic Rose? She says she has several. I have not seen this. Has anyone seen this? A legendary that lets you re-roll?
I'm about to look.
Hey, legendaries that can re-roll again. Nah.
Right. When did this happen?
She said.
Oh my goodness! I'm going to be really upset if the things you get from packages can be re-rolled, because I got a couple Hawksaws that just had to be deleted because they didn't have a good roll.
This is news to me if they can do this again. I didn't hear anything about this. Like, how would this go over under my radar?
We're waiting.
Too much Fallout.
No, but I still keep up on the news. I mean, this would be front page stuff, I think.
Absolutely. This is news to me, and I'm pretty up on my Destiny
news. It's gotta be a bug, man.
She has several. Down and Doubt has it. This is crazy. And you have re-rolled this, Mystic Rose? Man, this is way news to me.
Down and down.
Man, what were we even talking about?
Anyways,
Oh yeah, we need to look into that more for sure, because that's quite an interesting revelation there.
Right?
I
They've
have
just
Down and Doubt, but I don't see
Really
the
just
crossed
being able
hammers.
to roll stuff.
all right. Can't.
Okay.
Anyways, moving on.
All right, moving on. Yeah. So, on the technical side this week, they discuss matchmaking with design lead Lars Bakken. He says the long-term solution was always to retool the entire skill matchmaking system under the hood so players could have much closer matches. As some stopgap measures, we added some systems like blowout prevention and the mercy roll until we could do the real stuff with the Take a King. We have super secret mathematical systems that measure your performance and rate you as a potential combatant. It is constantly being reevaluated after every match. We even use different skill buckets depending on what playlist you're in. For example,
Uh-oh.
That's a good example. That's a great example. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
It's okay. Let me bring up the news if we can. News. Bungie weekly update. Because I've actually picked a fight with somebody about this
Excellent.
on Twitter. Yeah, it was great. You guys can see it on there at SDF River. So basically, matchups have been more challenging lately. It's sweaty, if you guys are familiar with the term. Basically, you're playing against more skilled players now.
I haven't noticed
whenever
that.
you're playing.
Have
You
you guys
haven't?
noticed it? No.
That's because
I
you're
have.
at the top.
so where
I
did you
have.
lose me?
A great example of this is
Okay, yeah. I must have just totally cut out there. So, for example, Iron Banner playlist skill ratings are not the same as normal control. The work first began in October on all this, and in December they finally activated it in all playlists. And he goes on to say there are some new changes coming in the near future that are intended to help reduce what we call latency, what you call lag. So, what do you guys think about this statement here? Do you think we're going to see a profound change yet in Destiny 1? Like, I feel like
I'm not going to hold my breath on that one.
aren't going to change that much. I mean, I would hope that I hope that all heads are down working on Destiny 2 at this point.
yeah, I
Well,
don't
it
know.
still behoove them to kind of work on the networking side if possible.
Well, I mean,
So-
going into Destiny 2, they can use it. It's not like they necessarily have to throw away everything that they've got so far. Especially,
I don't think they're gonna use a different engine per se.
right.
And the matchmaking. I mean, I haven't seen it. I could log into a match right now, and I guarantee that I'm going to be playing against red bar people. And that this is something that it actually, it really irks me that. It was quite a while back. They said, "Oh, we're going to match you up against good quality people. If you're on a good server, you're going to go up against a good server." That's BS. That's the biggest BS I've ever seen, because that my bar is green. I have nothing wrong with my internet at all. And I don't know how many times I go into a PvP match and playing against people that are crap, red barred or whatever. So that would be the only way I could see them maybe actually doing something. Maybe they are going to figure out a way to actually matchmake you with people that literally do have good connections. But I'll believe it when I see it, because
Do you guys think that the reduced number of people playing the Crucible is a large contributing factor in the increase in lag currently?
Not anymore.
Such as that, they have to reach further to find matches for you because there's simply just less people playing in your area, so they're reaching further away to other states across the country, other countries, to fill up your matches in a timely manner. If you had to wait 4 times as long for a match to start, but it meant you'd have twice as good a connection with everybody in it, is that acceptable to you?
Man, that's a good question. I think you really hit the nail on the head. If this area doesn't have what it is that you are looking for, matches, it really only makes sense for it to spread out where it's looking for people. I mean, one of those guys from Planet Destiny was talking about they were up against people in Brazil, and like I find it difficult to believe that it had to look that far. That seems more like a bug than anything else.
Here's what I don't get. That everybody they like to say, oh well, your server might only have say 1,000 people on it. I remember back in the day on PS3 playing Battlefield against other people, in their match-made system. And that match-made system, the way it was set up, it showed you there were 10,000 people logged into this server, and you could go and play with all those people. It wasn't. Oh, you're in Northern California, you're going to be stuck in that server.
That's
And
the
the other
difference between peer-to-peer and dedicated servers.
what?
That's the difference between peer-to-peer and dedicated servers. They had dedicated servers, so you were logging into Battlefront servers, and everybody was connecting to the same server in the same location.
I
You
realize
only
that.
had to go with your connection to the
Wait.
server.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm saying, though. What I'm saying, though, is that it would be easy enough for an engineer to go and say, okay, so we're going to set up the servers this way, is that people will log in, and all of Northern California that have good servers are going to be put onto this server A, and you can make it through that way. You're not
That is
changing. You're
how
not.
it currently is, but that doesn't mean that right now there's enough people in your Northern California server A that are right now, this second, hitting the button to play Control to fill up your whole match. So now it checks the Oregon local server and the Southern California local server and the Nevada local server. And if it doesn't find enough people for your group there, it's going to move out to the next ring of servers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just take them all and put them all together. You find the top 25% internet connection in server A, B, and C, and put that into that. That's
right. Then you're
server
dealing with your signal has to, because we're peer-to-peer connection and you're not all connecting
would
at the
have to
same
be a
time.
good section, right?
You're bouncing further and further away the further they go. So, like, another thing that happens in Destiny is that you can be in a fire team with anybody. So part of the problem in this is that Bungie has no control over this a little bit. Like we were talking about the guy from Planet Destiny playing people from Brazil. Well, if I have 3 friends from Brazil and we get in a fire team of 4 people, and I'm the fire team leader, well, yeah, all you guys are going to play a bunch of people from Brazil here in America who, in my region, because they're in my fire team. They're going to have to deal with that here connection.
Yeah, but I don't care where they're from. You can be from middle of Iran. If you have a great connection, I'll play you. Who cares? I just don't want to play big deal. I've got Joe Blow that's right down the road from me, but his connection sucks. But I'm going to be put in.
The further they get out, it's not just on the person's connection. Like a person on the other side of the world from you can have a really good connection, but they're on the other side of the world from you. There's going to be latency with Bungie's system connecting those 2 people together. That's what we're looking at in a lot of these cases. Like, I'm not entirely certain how the whole red bar thing works, but I've read people online. Like, I don't know how much of it's speculation, so like I haven't looked into it enough to know which entirely to believe. But from what I understand, they were explaining why some people who had excellent internet connections were showing as red bar online. And I guess part of the way Bungie reflects that information to you may be more what your connection is with these people rather than necessarily just their connection to their internet at their house.
That makes sense to me.
Like I said, I don't know how much. I'm no expert in these fields, but I've read some pretty
convincing arguments as to that is really a reflection of, not just that person's internet. So I don't know how that works and whatnot, but.
All right, so we are coming up on 10 o'clock, and I know that we started much later than 10 o'clock, but I did not write it down. Does anyone know when we actually started?
Yes.
When did we start, River?
I don't know. I'm asking
Here,
Jess.
no, I know. I know
my-
because I tweeted out exactly when we went live.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
And it
That would be
is
8:12. Yeah,
I
that's
got
right.
12:11, which is
Okay,
just
yeah.
different. So 11 after.
So we got just over 11 minutes.
we'll say 10.
Okay, so why don't we move along?
Okay, so to wrap up the weekly update, real quick anyway, they had the videos of the week. Of course, this week the winner was the Sunbarker is OP. It's some creative editing on a video of a dog powering up against some seals. So
it's really great. It's really great.
I encourage everybody to go check that out. The runners up there was a Welcome to Destiny looking back video that was well done, and an AFK Trials bathroom break comeback. Someone took a bathroom break in Trials of Osiris, and they were the last team member standing. When they came back from the bathroom, they took a little too long to get back, and their team was down. And watch the video and see how that worked out for a cocky opponent.
Right. I just want to say that they never work out like that for me. That is never. I don't ever experience what happened in that video, and it was crazy. I couldn't believe my eyes, and I don't know. I bet there was a lot of upset people out there.
And I was with some random the other week who really did some amazing work in Trials. I had my hard drive was full. I couldn't record it, or I would have uploaded it for certain. He was last one alive, and it was one of the matches we won. Their whole team was alive, and it was in Exodius Blue map, and it was in the room, like the big long room on the one side where the heavy ammo spawns is, right in that room with all those pillars and whatnot. And he was in one of the most incredible gunfights with the entire other team, all taking place in that room that I have ever seen by a really large margin. He came back to life once with his Sunsinger, and there were two Sunsingers on the other team that both came back to life. The whole team had to have been revived by their teammates 5 times over during this gun battle. It was incredible, and he ended up winning it. And this totally made me kind of think of that. I mean, this guy, the battle was over way quicker than in my circumstance, but it's just one of those amazing, stand type things.
Awesome. Excellent and awesome. I'm sad right now because we didn't get to. Seer Prophet asked what it would take for us to leave Destiny completely, and I feel like that's something that's going to take longer than 5 minutes to talk about. And then River's not going to be here next week, so that makes me sad.
Record it.
Too much SRL.
Right? Too much SRL.
River could totally record his answer to that question, and we can still discuss that next week.
I'm sure I could. I just need to find the time for it.
Yeah.
It won't take that long. You can do it. I have faith in you.
I'm sure.
You know what? Here's what we should do. we won't talk about it next week. We'll talk about it the week after when you come back, River. And let's just say to everybody out there listening right now, I would love for you to write in to feedback@guardian1.net and tell us what it would take for you to quit. Like you don't want to play Destiny anymore. You're
Done.
100% done, and you're walking away and you're feeling good about this. This is not, I don't want it to be where it's like, oh, well, maybe I'll come back to it. Like, what has to happen in Destiny? What do they need to do in order for you to just say, that's it, I'm out?
At what point do you snap your disc?
Right? At what point do you sell your game or break it, or just no looking back, no matter what it is. You just know that you can't do it anymore. And then we will talk about those. Guardian 1.
Guardian.
You forgot the R, my friend.
Oh man. Whoops.
Yeah, it's tell us, and we will read these answers on the show. And I think that this will give us a nice wide amount of information. Also, sorry, Seer Prophet. I know you've been waiting on this for a while. It actually took me a couple of weeks to come up with a reason for me to walk away from it completely, because I just love it so completely. Even though it's not perfect and it's nowhere what I was hoping it would be. I still love everything about it, and it took me just the longest time, and I was out walking my dog when it hit me. I was like, oh, this is what would have to happen, and I was excited about it. And then we just didn't talk about it. River wasn't on that week, and then the week after that, and then nobody was on the show the week after that. So yeah, send us those things. We'll put out another call for it next week. For those who missed this show, and then we'll talk about it when River comes back, because I feel like it's going to be a really good topic, and I want everyone to be there. So yeah, we should probably do shout outs now.
Okay, well, right before they do shout outs, there's one tiny bit of information that I didn't get to there. They did close out the weekly update by saying very soon we'll have more to share about a second, larger game update that will arrive sometime after February. There are more stories about 2016 that remain to be told, and you'll learn more as soon as I get my own anxious hands on the full and final details. Same goes for the February update. So they are still promising a larger game update, but that's still pretty cryptic as far as whether we're going to get something, as large as a raid or anything else yet before the end of this year. Would you guys bet money on another raid DLC?
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I'm kind of thinking that maybe like something a little bit larger than the Dark Below.
I want to say they have to.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I could see that.
And I'm thinking April at the latest. So I'm thinking March or April.
I really feel like I don't want to put this the wrong way, but I'm going to put it this way just to be kind of frank about it, that they already see Destiny as a tiny bit of a lost cause and are putting all their eggs in the Destiny 2 basket at this point.
a
I
lot
could
of
see
people have been saying through Reddit what they believe is coming is a partial remake of the last two raids, because that would be the easiest thing for them to upgrade.
I agree, and I would love that. I would love a full updating of the old raids. I really think not keeping all of the endgame content relevant as endgame content was a mistake. I think there are tons of Guardians out there that were way over leveled to experience at a fun, teamwork induced, victorious manner the Vault of Glass or Crota's End.
The problem with that though is it wouldn't change the mechanics too much. So it would be pretty much the same thing that we've already done.
I think you could get creative with an update.
Unless it's new encounters in the same spaces.
All right. Shout outs, starting with you, Sharks.
My shout out goes to a player that I was playing Iron Banner with, or actually against. My entire team went up against a single person, and this guy stayed in the battle the entire match. He danced at first, and I told Guru Fu to shoot him in the head. And after that, it was just a gun battle back and forth. And because most of our team was staying on one side, I could run over to the other side, and it was him against Zaya a lot of the time. And we messaged each other and became friends. His name is Telemex Atrum, and I just give him a big shout out for staying in the entire match, even though he was getting his ass beat.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I noticed when people quit out, those are the people that were doing horrible on the team.
And this guy did really good. He still ended up getting 14 kills against a whole team of 6. I mean, it was just awesome. So shout out to him.
Agrios.
I would like to give a big shout out to Aim Assist Gaming Podcast. They had a community focus, so just big shout out on them. That's an awesome achievement.
Excellent. Congratulations to you guys. Jez.
Shout out to our chat because you make the podcast.
I agree. Crimson Warlock.
I'm shouting out to Remy for keeping us all together and trying his best over the last couple of weeks to get this podcast going, even though for whatever reasons it just didn't happen.
I really appreciate that, Crimson Warlock. Thank you. You kick ass. River.
My shout out goes to Knock Knock and Right Incarnate. Knock Knock is actually in the chat right now. It goes by Knock99. These two and their crew helped me finally complete King's Fall on hard mode, and we actually did the Oryx challenge for my first run, so that was pretty tough. But I got a lot of sweet loot, and I was pretty damn happy about it. So thanks, guys. Much appreciated.
Excellent. Thank you for helping River. My shout out is to Bobcat again. It's over this period of time where we haven't been doing the show, I've had a lot of horrible things happen to me, and nothing like having to go and face chemotherapy. So again, my thoughts are with you and your family, and I pray for a speedy recovery, because
all of us do.
Right? It's cancer sucks. Cancer really sucks. So get better.
Best wishes.
Get better.
Mhm.
Be on the show sometime. Excellent. That wraps up episode 70. I would like to thank everyone listening for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions or suggestions for topics to be discussed on the show, please leave them in the comments below or send them to feedback@guardian1.net, and we will see you next week.